What is the deal, YouTube? What is the deal, YouTube? Hard hitting sports in your face. So, after an abysmal performance by the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night, there are a lot of people saying that the Miami Dolphins should bench starting quarterback Ryan Tannenhill. Now, I got a couple things I want to chime in and say about this and why I feel a certain way about this situation, whether or not the Dolphins should bench Ryan Tannehill. First of all, I just want to point out the fact that we are in what is it, the fourth game of the season? I think we're in right now. We're 1-3, heading to the fifth game of the season, right? So we're 1-3. We're heading to the fifth game of the season, and my question to everybody that wants to bench the quarterback, because I agree, right now we have a quarterback that is subpar. Our quarterback is average to below average, right? But the simple fact of the matter is that at this point in time, I think our quarterback is getting like $20 million a season. So to put him on the bench, to me, I don't know how that works for us financially. Now, definitely the people that signed that contract were fucking idiots. Did they see a quarterback getting better, or did they see a quarterback, kind of, staying the same? Because he's never really had a great season. He has some seasons where he's shown some glimpses, but he's not had a breakout, huge, big time, 40 touchdown, 8 interception season. That's never happened for Ryan Tannehill. He's never been a top 15 quarterback. And next year, Ryan Tannehill is going to make more money than Big Ben Roethlisberger. I need you to understand this. Our quarterback is going to make more money than a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. Understand that. That right there is just fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. That makes no sense to me. And I was trying to look at a list and come up with how many other quarterbacks our quarterback is making more than. Who else is he making more that he shouldn't be making more than? Let's see. So you would say right now his average year is about $19 million, right? He's making more than Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford has taken a couple teams into the playoffs. Andy Dalton has been a playoff quarterback a couple times. He's making more than him. Let's see. Andrew Luck is getting like $24 million a season. Breeze, Flacco makes more than Aaron Rodgers. That's tough. And Russell Wilson and Big Ben. Yeah, I like Flacco, but not that fucking much. Anyway, I digress. I was just looking at some of the salaries of other NFL quarterbacks and going on. But next year, this guy's going to be making more money than Big Ben Roethlisberger. That's silly as shit. If you give Big Ben Roethlisberger, and you already know, Big Ben Roethlisberger's line is often abysmal. We know this. He's often missing pieces because the Pouncey brothers collectively can't stay healthy. So he's often missing pieces. But no matter what receivers you give this man, when he had Mike Wallace, he did it with Mike Wallace. When he had Hines Ward, he did it with Hines Ward. Now he's got Antonio Brown, and he's the best receiver in football. If Antonio Brown was to walk, I guarantee you the guy who takes over for Antonio Brown would have a good season with Big Ben. I'm just saying. If you gave Big Ben, Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker, and Kenny Stills, he would have a hell of a season with them guys. He's made a couple different receivers household names: Hines Ward, Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown. And I guarantee you, that Wheaton kid and that other kid who can't stay off the dope, they will be, they will get their numbers as well. All right. But anyway, this is my problem with benching Ryan Tannenhill. And the only way this is going to work, I've come up with 2 solutions for this. I don't know what the salary cap implications would be if we were to cut him outright. Don't know. I would have a hard time putting $20 million on the bench and then bringing in Matt Moore, who, Matt Moore is the reason why we ended up with, no, wait a minute. Who did we have at quarterback before Ryan Tannenhill? I could have sworn we had Matt Moore, or did we have Chad Henne? I can't remember. If I'm not mistaken, Matt Moore was the starting quarterback for us. I don't remember. Let me go back here. Okay, so in 2011, Matt Moore was the starting quarterback. Right? Let's see here. I just want to go through this and make sure I'm right before I start talking. I don't want to say no crazy shit. Okay, we had Matt Moore. We had Chad Henne. Chad Henne was still on the team. And we had J.P. Losman, right? So Matt Moore, Chad Henne, and J.P. Losman. In 2012, is that the year that I think that's the year that we drafted? If I'm not mistaken. Yes. So in 2011, we had Matt Moore. We were able, what I think we got, if I'm not mistaken, we got Ryan Tannenhill with like the 10th, the 8th, or something like that, pick in the draft. So Matt Moore got us a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. So, and that was the last time he started for us. So I'm not understanding. You know what I mean? Now, granted, the team that we have now, let me go back. Let me check this team out. Let me make sure there's 2. Let's see. We had, wait a minute. We had Brandon Marshall. We had Hartline. We had Reggie Bush at running back. Reggie Bush had 1,000-yard season that year. Let me let you guys look at what I'm looking at right now, so you guys can look at what I'm looking at. This is what Matt Moore had around him when he was the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins back in 2011, right? Matt Moore's receivers, he had Reggie Bush, who's a better running back and had better stats than anybody on our team right now. Reggie Bush had 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns, right? Now, you know what? Let me not say better, because the guys we have right now are still unproven. So I'm going to say unproven, right? He had Devon Best, who's a decent possession receiver. He had Brandon Marshall, who's a damn good receiver. He had Hartline, who's a guy who's always hurt. He has Charles Clay, but I think this is before Charles Clay became Charles Clay. It's when Charles Clay was the fullback and Fasano was thought of being the man. So, no, he had some decent weapons. I still think, I think the weapons we have now are better outside of Brandon Marshall. I'm gonna exclude the running back, but I'm just talking about the guys that he's throwing to, because I'll take Devontae Parker over Best, and I'll take Kenny Stills over Hartline. The wash would be Marshall versus Jarvis Landry, which I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one. But yeah. Then on the defensive side of the ball, he had Dansby, Sean Smith, Rashard Jones, Jeremiah Bell, Jason Taylor. But that was old Jason Taylor. Oh, he still came up with 7 sacks, though. Cam Wake is on this team. This defense is decent. Vontae Davis. Ooh. Nolan Carroll. And we still ended up going 7-9. I don't know what we look like on defense. Points against. We were 6 of 32 with 19.6 points a game. But points for, we were 20 of 32. So our defense was actually decent. Look at that. Our defense was the 6 of 32. That's not bad. And we still ended up. I mean, look at it, man. We still ended up with it. Wait a minute. Hold up. Ooh. Yeah. We still ended up with. See, I don't know if these stats, because they're showing Todd Bowles. Was Todd Bowles the coach? What the hell? Okay, never mind. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, people are calling for Matt Moore to go in as the quarterback of the Dolphins, but the last time we had Matt Moore, who the fuck is Matt Bowles? Last time we had Matt Moore, we were 7-9 or so, and we ended up drafting a quarterback with a top 10 pick. So let me go to my comment section and see what people are saying here. Too early to bench him now. He usually doesn't heat up until around 5. Defense and offense is a bigger priority. Ryan Fitzpatrick throws 4 picks and Carson Palmer throws like 5. Nobody says nothing. Ryan Tannehill throws 1 interception. Everybody says bench him. Matt Moore was the starter before Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, he was. The Carson Palmer comparison, Carson Palmer was just in the playoffs last year. Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah. I seen some people saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick should have been benched. But the Carson Palmer had he was in the playoffs last year. Like, if you go a season where you make a playoff run and then you come back the next year and you suck a few games, people can look at you differently. If you suck for 5 straight years, people are gonna get fed up with it. You know what I mean? You take me deep in the playoffs, you come back next year, you suck a game or 2. People might, look past it. You suck for 5 years, it's like, yeah. But my thing is that I don't know if we can put $20 million on the bench. I don't think we can do that. Unless, and this is gonna sound wacky, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway, right? Ryan Tannenhill is about 6'5" and 230 pounds or so. He played wide receiver in college, right? So we know that he can play wide receiver. Maybe, possibly, instead of putting him on the bench, we put him at wide receiver and put someone else in. That's an option. Just saying. He's 6'5". Wait a minute. How let me make sure how much he weighs. I don't know how much he weighs. I know he's 6'4". He's 6'4", 216 pounds. So he's not that heavy. Because I was gonna say He's 6'4", 230 pounds. We need a tight end. Put him at fucking tight end. We know he's athletic enough to catch passes, and he's durable. So put him at tight end, and then bring like if he turns into a decent tight end or an above average tight end, we might have to restructure the contract that he's in, but at least we'll be getting something out of it. To stick him on the bench makes no sense. Not with $20 million. Not getting the money that he's getting right now. That doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, it doesn't address the quarterback situation. Now, FL3 says, what QB would you trade for at the trade deadline? See, that's a hard one because back in the day, when I first started watching football, there were actually some good backup quarterbacks. I remember guys like Frank Reich. If you were a longtime Miami Dolphin fan, you remember Scott Mitchell. He went ahead and ended up starting in Detroit. I don't know who the hell we would get at quarterback. The only name, and this is going to sound crazy as shit to a lot of people. The only name, there's only a couple names that jump off to me, right? I will not say Jimmy Garoppolo, first of all, because anybody who leaves that New England system sucks ass wherever they go. Whether it was Richard Seymour, you can go on and on. That guy who they traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, anybody that the Patriots let go, the new system they go to, they end up sucking. Matt Castle, remember Matt Castle won 10 games for New England. Now that motherfucker's played for 15 different teams. So I'm not gonna say fucking Jimmy Garoppolo. Not saying that. But I will say the guy who plays for the Carolina Panthers, Derek Anderson, might be a short-term solution. He's got a big arm. He's played in a couple different situations. He's an older guy. He might be a stopgap. To me, he's the best backup quarterback in football right now. Derek Anderson for the Carolina Panthers. Next guy. Like I say, the shit I'm about to say is going to sound crazy. Colin Kaepernick. I know that sounds crazy as shit, but take this into consideration. This man has been on some big stages. He's been in the big game. He's been in the big dance. He's also a quarterback that would be better suited to function behind a poor offensive line because of his skill set. So Derek Anderson, Colin Kaepernick, who else? The interesting situation. Well, see, I don't I guess you can say Tony Romo, but why the fuck would we put Tony Romo often hurt ass behind this line? That motherfucker gets hurt behind the best line in football. So to put him behind our line is like saying hurt him. Please hurt him. He can't hold up behind the best line. I can just imagine putting him behind this line. But that would be, if they're gonna move on with Prescott, and we can keep Tony Romo healthy, that would be a huge upgrade. That would be the best upgrade. But that if keeping Tony Romo healthy is the size of Texas, I don't know anyone else. EJ, no, fuck that. He garbage. I was gonna say EJ Manuel, but no, that bitch is trash. That wouldn't be an upgrade. Jets, Gino, no, fuck that. He trash. Cleveland. The Browns. Take a Brown quarterback. Yeah, okay. Washington Redskins, Kirk Cousins. I think they got Colt McCoy there. No, no. Denver has maybe because the Denver Broncos drafted a quarterback in the first round, right? That kid Simeon has looked good. So are they gonna just let Paxton Lynch sit there because Simeon's young and Lynch is young? So at some point they're gonna have to move on from one of those guys. So Simeon could be an option. Arizona, no. The Raiders, I mean the Rams have Jared Goff, who's going to eventually take over, but their quarterback, other than that, is ass. New Orleans, San Diego, no. Uh, Kansas City Chiefs, no. Pittsburgh, no. The Giants got our old backup quarterback, and then Minnesota has, of course, Sam Bradford. But yeah, the pickings are very slim. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of backup QBs that are even worth a damn. Drew Stanton. Yeah. Cool. Drew Stanton. Has Drew I don't know a lot about Drew Stanton, mostly because he's on the West Coast, so I don't see him a lot. Even when I was in Miami, I didn't see him a lot, so I don't know a lot about him. It's interesting. If I'm not mistaken, though, he's got a big arm, and we need with the weapons that we have with Parker. Matt is not the answer in Miami, but we want to see him. Yeah, but I just feel like to sit $20 million on the bench and then bring Matt Moore in, a guy who the last time he started for us took us to 7-9 and got us a top got us a top 10 pick, is just not cutting it. So I mean, I honestly think the best options are either Derek Anderson, Kaepernick, or it's got to be somewhere out of the clear blue sky. But no one is going to give up a good, talented quarterback. So we're gonna have to draft someone, or we're more than likely we're gonna have to finish, complete, and endure this season, and go back into the draft and start all back over again and see what we can do with this contract. The best option here in Miami, make no mistake about it, the best option would be for our quarterback to snap out of it and start to do the things that we need him to do. Not hold the ball, get rid of the ball, throw the ball on time, not late, read the entire field, and grow as a quarterback. That's our best option, honestly. Because there's nothing to say that we won't draft a guy next year and he could be a fucking RG3. And by RG3, I say I'm talking about injury prone. We can grab a guy next year and he comes out, looks great, and gets hurt. You know what I mean? So the best option that we really have is for our quarterback that we have right now to turn it on and become the guy that we're paying him to be. The other option is either to cut our losses or put him somewhere else and go into a future that we don't really have many answers. Who would you want in the draft, and what pick do you think we're going to get? With the way that our team looks right now, I would be fucking shocked if we didn't get a top 5 pick. We look like a top 5 pick team. I don't know much about the upcoming draft. I won't know much about it until I see the combine and start, reading articles on the upcoming players. Yeah, his biggest issue is his pocket presence. Absolutely. He does not feel the pressure around him. He doesn't step up in the pocket, and he holds the damn ball too long. Like if you have a makeshift offensive line, right? And this could be play design as well. You could throw play design. When you see the Patriots having problems protecting Brady, you know what they start doing? One, they start going to more max protect. So you max protect to protect the quarterback. The second thing you start seeing them do is design plays that will get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly. 1, 2, 3 out. 1, 2, 3 out. You don't see it makes no sense for your quarterback to get sacked 2, 3 times and you're still trying to take him a 5-step drop and throw the fucking ball. That is just dumb. That's dumb. Oh yeah, our quarterback isn't, our offensive line is struggling. Let's drop him back 5 steps and let him stand there and get whacked. That makes no sense. Not only that, when we have offensive linemen that are like a fucking turnstile at a train station, which we have, that fucking, what is that guy's name? And shit, I thought Dallas Thomas was bad. That guy's just as bad. He's fucking terrible too. So I don't know. And with the offensive line next year, you know what I want to see us do? I want to see us take Stein, the guy who we moved to center, and Laramie Tunsil. Take those two and build from those. Get rid of fucking Brandon Albert. Tell Brandon Albert, see you. Get rid of Brandon Albert. Let Brandon Albert walk because he's never going to stay healthy. Get rid of Mike Pouncey. Tell Mike Pouncey, I'll see you later because you can't stay healthy. He's a good center when he's healthy. But that win is the size of Texas. So let him walk. And then let's build from there. Let's take those players right there, Stein and Laramie Tunsil, and let's build our line up from there. Those two pieces can be our building blocks because to me, those guys have looked the most promising out of all of the linemen that I've seen. So take those two, and everyone else, I'll talk to you later. Especially, I think Dallas Thomas is like a backup on this team. Get him the hell off the team completely. But anyway, man, it is 11:10. I'm about to finish watching this UFC fight night. John Dobson's fighting tonight. I like John Dobson. So I will talk to you next week, man. Next week, we've definitely had a long week to go over everything that went wrong in the Cincinnati Bengal game. Hopefully, we get some guys back off of injury, Albert, Pouncey, and we can see this line at full strength. We'll probably get Arian Foster back next week as well, and we'll be at full strength with our offense. And we'll get to, see what we look like at full strength. But the worst part out of everything that has happened to me is the fact that our one win came under the circumstances that it came from. Like that is just, I need you to think about that for a moment. We have one win, and the circumstances that we beat that team with is downright comical. Think about that shit. We beat the Browns with a third-string quarterback, 3 missed field goals, missing 2 receivers, missing their best cornerback, and we still had to go into overtime with that team. That is just terrible. Like any other team would have smoked that team. And they missed 3 field goals, and we still had to go to overtime. That's just awful. Anyway, man, I am out of here. Make sure that you follow me on Twitter if you have a Twitter at Casual, at KASUWELL. And I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.